You're eating less, you're moving more, you feel like everything is going right, but the scale isn't moving. This video is going to describe to you exactly why that is happening and how to fix that scale weight plateau. I've now coached over 150 males achieve life-changing transformations. I've seen lads lose 30 kilograms. I've seen lads go from complete novice to photo shoot condition. What we do works, and I'm going to describe to you exactly what we do and how you can use it for your own problems. And before we go any further, if you like this sort of content and if you've liked any of the previous videos before, like, subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment. Now let's get into the video. Fat loss can be a funny thing. You've got so much misinformation on social media these days, and it's very, very hard to find the right relevant information. So no wonder that you are stuck. You've got people at different ends of the scale. You've got people saying that you need to be 100% optimal. You can't have anything off plan. And then you've got people saying at the other end of the spectrum that you can eat whatever you want and get in shape. See, the way I coach, I meet in the middle. I like people to have balance, but I also realize that you need to have certain food groups in order to understand how that scale weight can shift and how you can actually lose body fat at the same time. Now, the first mistake or the first problem that I want to talk upon is calorie consumption and actually measuring food. There's plenty of studies out there that people actually underestimate their calorie intake by about 20 to 50%. So let's just say I put a client on 2,000 calories. If they weren't clued up on their nutrition and they weren't given any sort of guidance, they could actually end up eating about 2,600 to 3,000 calories. That would probably then lead to them being in a maintenance, or worse of yet, being in a surplus. People either eyeball their food or they completely lie about their calorie intake, and they don't count up calories such as their coffees, their cooking oils, them little snacks that you have in the cupboard in the evening. So no wonder the scales can be like a yo-yo when all of those things aren't added up and you're actually overeating what you think you are. So the fix there is to be completely honest, truly transparent with yourself, and how to actually track every little bit of food that goes in your mouth. Now that may sound really, really tedious and time consuming, but if you actually want to see true condition and true change, that is what you need to do, especially if you're new to the game. So what we like to do with our clients is get an assessment week. For the first week when they first come on board, we like to get a full assessment of the actual food that goes in their mouth without setting them any sort of meal plan. This is then going to allow me to actually get data on what they're actually eating, such as their meal timings, how many times they're eating per day, what their protein intake is like, what treats they're having, do they fall off on weekends. That'll then give me a true transparency and true honest reflection of what they're eating and what needs to be changed. And that's something that you can do and take away for yourself. I would suggest doing that on MyFitnessPal, tracking your food for a week and seeing where the misconceptions lie. Mistake number 2, people just simply don't move enough. And you've heard it all before, the classic 10,000 step target. There is no magic number for it, but it just gives you a target to actually move more and increase your NEAT. Now, for those that don't know, NEAT is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So that's things such as walking, cleaning, walking to the food shop, whatever it may be, things that aren't going to actually involve daily exercise, such as going to the gym. You increase your NEAT, you increase your movement, you increase the chances of actually burning more calories on a very easy level. So don't just rely on nutrition. Of course, that is going to be the main aspect and driver of actually losing body fat and losing body weight, but NEAT and cardio are tools and they can be used very efficiently. Mistake number 3, you're not applying progressive overload in the gym. You're not training with intensity, you're not training with purpose, and that's going to stall your fat loss. Now you may be thinking why. Let me tell you, shock horror, resistance training actually burns body fat as well as building muscle. Now, increased muscle mass increases your metabolic rate, which is in turn going to help you burn body fat. Heavy training also depletes muscle glycogen, and as your body goes to replenish this, it's going to be looking to burn fat as the primary source. So these are just a few examples that actually driving progressive overload and training with intensity and training with purpose in the gym is going to help you with your ability to lose body fat and lose weight. Mistake number 4 is that you're simply not looking after your recovery and you're not looking after your stress levels. Now, as your stress levels rise, cortisol is going to be more present, which actually has a massive, massive impact on your ability to lose scale weight. It affects insulin sensitivity and fat metabolism. And sleep deprivation is also a huge driver of that as well. You'll also notice that a poor night's sleep also increases your hunger hormones the next day. So them two combined is going to lead to increased hunger hormones, increased stress, your inability to actually lose body fat, decreased energy levels, and then have a massive impact on how well you're actually progressing. This is why sleep is so important. Having your rest days is so important. Having a good structured, balanced life is also very important. because you need your body to be at a homeostasis level in order to move forward. Those that are really high stressed, those that have poor night's sleep will really struggle in their ability to lose body fat. Next mistake is, what are you actually looking at? Are you looking at just scale weight, or are you actually evaluating other measures, such as your body composition, how your physique is actually changing from the moment you came in to where you are now? Let's just take my client Ben for example. He works offshore and he's recently come in and he hasn't seen his scale weight shift a lot since being with me over the past 8 weeks, but we've seen a huge change on his physique. Why is that? Well, that's because he's fairly new to the gym. Muscle weighs more than fat. He is not only burning body fat, but he's also increasing the amount of muscle tissue that he's growing at the very start. His clothes are fitting better, he's visibly getting better, he's feeling better. These are all different measures of actually progress he's making regardless of scale weight. There's a difference between a true plateau and actually a recomp that you are going through. So people that are new to the gym or people that have taken a break away, for the first 30 days, you need to be looking at other measures regardless of just scale weight, because there's going to be a lot more going on than what you think. And the last mistake that I want to talk about is being just so aggressive far too early. Extreme deficits produce really good results early doors, but then after a couple of weeks, you'll go into stall. Your energy levels are going to be really, really low. Your hunger hormones are going to be through the roof, and you're going to be finding it very hard to stick to what you're actually doing. Your training performance is also going to be so poor in the gym, which is going to lead to an inability to grow muscle tissue. So what we look for is that 500 calorie sweet spot. There is no low calories as such that you can go to, but you need to be very careful how low you actually go in order to see the responses that you need. This is why, unless you're in a very, very short program, such as an 8-week coaching program, that long-term sustainable results are much better. Of course, you want to get in and out of your fat loss phase early, but you also want to do things right, because being far too aggressive far too early isn't going to help anyone be educated, and it's just going to see fall-offs. An easy fix for this is implementing diet breaks or refeeds, or implementing some enjoyment into the process itself. Now, you've got 5 or 6 mistakes there, ones that I see far too common and ones that may even resonate with you. Now, don't try and fix all of them if all of them relate to you. Try and fix one at a time, and that way you can start building on the process itself. But if this is resonating with you and this is a light bulb moment, I want you to have a consider about what we've got. In the description below is a link to our 4-week free coaching. Yeah, that's 4 weeks free coaching. In these 4 free weeks, you're going to get the accountability, you're going to get the support, you're going to get the education that you need in order to fix some of these problems. And for the cost of absolutely nothing, you'd be silly not to take it. So head to the link in my bio. Thanks for watching, and I hope you've took some value away from this video.